I want to now talk about Tom Herman and the University of Texas. In my opinion, I think Tom Herman has been a disappointment as a head coach during his first 4 years at the University of Texas. Now, to be very clear, I might be being a little bit too harsh in regards to evaluating Tom Herman's time at the University of Texas. I will admit that. I'm a tough grader, but I think that he's been a disappointment. And by the way, my opinion does not imply that Tom Herman is a terrible head coach. Tom Herman is a darn good football coach in my opinion, but we're in a results-oriented business, people. And Texas, in my opinion, they're not winning enough big games. They're just not. And yes, I understand Tom Herman has a career 31-18 record at the University of Texas. I understand that he is 3-0 in bowl games. I totally get it. I understand it. And if you think Tom Herman has done a good job at Texas, fine. I'm not saying Tom Herman has done a bad job at Texas. I just think that his time at Texas has been underwhelming for one reason and one reason only. Tom Herman has not brought Texas back to the national title picture. He just hasn't. They've not been competing for playoff spots. They haven't been winning big games. They just haven't. And he's still not close to Oklahoma. Lincoln Riley and Oklahoma continue to dominate the Big 12. Heck, right now, Iowa State is ranked higher than Texas. There should not be a world in any situation, most years, where Iowa State is better than Texas. That just should not happen, in my opinion. And I know I crushed Jim Harbaugh earlier, but when it comes to Jim Harbaugh's struggles, I have a little bit of sympathy for Jim Harbaugh because I understand the degree of difficulty of Jim Harbaugh's job. Jim Harbaugh is playing, and his team plays in the Big Ten Conference, the second best conference outside the SEC. Tom Herman, you coach in the pillow-fighting Big 12, where they don't play a lot of big boy football. Michigan is also a very academically challenged school. And while you could say the same thing about Texas, it's not on Michigan's level as far as academics, in my opinion. That's a proven fact. Go look at the academic statistics in regards to Michigan and Texas. Not close, not arguable. And see, Tom Herman, his team plays in Texas, where there's sunny weather. He plays in the Big 12, and he's right in the heart of where all the great football players are. And guess what? Ohio State, Clemson, Alabama, they're stealing his recruits. He's right in the heart in the state of Texas. Every single great Texas player should be going to the University of Texas because Tom Herman, he's right there. They're right in his neighborhood. You should be competing for the college football playoffs by year number 4 at the University of Texas. You've got A-plus facilities. It's great weather. It's a blue collar university that's well known throughout college football. You have all the things necessary to be successful. You've recruited very well, but the results don't match that. Tom Herman was brought in to bring Texas back to the national title picture, and so far, he's failed to do so. And with one of his better rosters at the University of Texas, he is disappointed this year. So, in reality, people, listen. Can Tom Herman eventually win Texas a national title? Maybe. That is not out of the possibility. He's a very good football coach. But that does not mean I cannot call Tom Herman out for being a disappointment up to this point. As of right now, it might be harsh, but I think Tom Herman is disappointed up to this point as being the University of Texas head football coach. And until Tom Herman brings Texas back to the college football playoffs, and until he has them competing consistently for national titles, I think that he is selling the University of Texas short. That might be harsh, but that is how I feel, and that is why I believe as I speak today in regards to Tom Herman and the University of Texas. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juiciest Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juiciest Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.